Hello everyone and welcome back. It is time for me to tell you what my favorites are from September 2017. So I will be going by list, so it will be anime, manga, games, and then albums, music, what I've been listening to lately, all that stuff. So we will start with anime. For anime, like I've mentioned before in my update video, I've been watching a lot of classics. Also, when I will be mentioning anime and my favorite, it's not gonna be the seasonals because I do separate videos on seasonal anime and I kind of want to keep it that way. And I also want to watch more classics. So when I do, I want to be able to share it with you guys. So the first thing that I finished is Code Geass Season 1. Yes, I have never watched Code Geass before. It was my first time watching it. I actually started it because it was on Netflix, and because I could watch it legally, I was like, well, why not? I might as well watch it finally. God, it was so good. I didn't think it would be this good because I remember me watching the first one or two episodes 3 years ago, something like that, because I did want to check it out, but then I ended up not watching more because I was caught up in too many seasonal anime. But this time I actually had a chance to watch more classics, and I was like, okay, I kind of feel like this is one that I must have seen. I love it a lot, and I cannot wait to actually start the second season soon. I like the characters a lot. I like the mystery. It kind of brings me back to other anime that I have watched in the past. Also, I've seen there's like a lot of movies and like side stories, or I have no idea what is going on, but I got a lot of notifications from my anime list that new Code Geass stuff is coming up. So I have no idea what that is. I will have to look into that, but in the future I do want to watch that stuff too. Next up is another mecha anime, I guess you could say. Like these two kind of have the subgenre mecha in it. So I am watching Escaflowne, which is a older anime as well, a lot older than Code Geass, obviously, and it's also one of those like must watch. I feel like I started watching this one when I was in Korea in March, and then my friend Sarah actually recommended me this one because this was one of her favorites when she was growing up. And then I was like, huh, interesting. I have heard a lot about Escaflowne, but I never watched it. So I started watching it. In the beginning, I wasn't that into it, but the more I watched it, the more interested I got into the characters and what was going on. I do have to say it's not like for me like top like super good, but it is enjoyable and I do want to finish it. I do want to see where this goes. And last but not least, I am finally more than halfway through with Slam Dunk. So this is also one of those classics that I've really wanted to watch for a long time. I started it with Aaron maybe almost a year ago, actually, or even more than a year ago, and we never got further than episode 11 or something like that. And then since I've been back now in Korea, I was talking about anime with my boyfriend, and he was like, oh, Slam Dunk is one of my favorites. And I was like, I've never finished it. And then we just started watching it, and I just continued from episode 11 or wherever I left off, and now we're over episode 58, something like that. So I am more than halfway through, and I am really enjoying it. It's just fun to see like old sports shown in anime. And spoiler alerts, after this one, I am finally gonna watch Hajime no Ippo because I haven't seen that one yet either. Now for manga, I also mentioned in my update video that I've been reading a whole lot more, and I've been reading like 2 mature mangas and then one I think people will be very happy about, but I will leave that for the last one. So there's one that I finished, which was quite short, and it's called A Girl on the Shore. It is by Asano Inio, and it is a very dark and maybe yeah, it is realistic coming of age story about a girl and a boy who kind of have a friends with benefits kind of relationship. But keep in mind, they're only teenagers. I believe they're around like 15 years old. The characters are just going through a very confusing phase in their life, I guess. To see like the art and the story going for this manga is very interesting because there's a lot of nudity and sexual scenes. I will already tell you that. but the art is beautiful. And I can really, really appreciate that. So yeah, it's a very interesting manga. I don't want to spoil too much, but if you want to see a short coming of age story, kind of, and it does have like an ending where everything kind of comes together. So it's not something where you're like, oh no, we don't know what's gonna happen with them. It's not like that. It's something like complete, and it's only 2 volumes, I believe, and I do think it's worth it. Next up is a manga that's a bit longer, but it's done by the same guy who did A Girl on the Shore, and it is called Oyasumi Punpun, or Punpun, or however you want to call it. This one I have wanted to read for also, I think, three years, something like that. It's been on my plan to read for so long. And then actually, because I went to Kitakon and I went to a panel with Abby and some other people, it was more like about romantic relationships and manga. So this one was mentioned, and then A Girl on the Shore was also mentioned. So that was basically the reason why I wanted to read those two as well. Although I've known about it, I just got a reminder because of that panel that yes, I should read that finally. So for Oyasumi Punpun, I'm halfway through with it for now, and I am enjoying it so much. It is a very, very dark, depressing, and realistic coming of age story where it's about this young guy and you get to see him grow up, and you get to see how he is struggling through life when it comes to relationships, all sorts of other things. I don't want to spoil too much what happens in his life, but a lot of stuff happens in his life where he gets depressed, or then suddenly he's happy again. It's like this manga goes like up and down all the way through, and then you never know what's gonna happen next. But yeah, I don't know. It's so interesting. I really like it. There's also a lot of mature scenes in this one as well. Art again, very good too. I am so tempted to read everything this mangaka has done, because Oyasumi Punpun and then A Girl on the Shore both really, really got my attention. I just like the mature aspect that it has and how real it is. Because you cannot, I'm not gonna say you can relate to the characters because, you know, what they're going through is kind of insane, but like the emotions that they show you in the manga, how that is portrayed, that is done so well, where you can kind of like know how they feel, kind of, and you can kind of live with them and you feel so sorry for them. And it's just a emotional roller coaster, I would say, especially for Oyasumi. I really, really like that one. I like it even more than A Girl on the Shore for now, but I don't know how it's gonna end yet, because apparently he's gonna get older and older until like his beginning of his 20s or mid 20s, something like that. So I have no idea how it's gonna go later on with the main character and the side characters, but I'm loving it, and I love all of the, like, most of the characters in this manga I actually like and are very interesting to me. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. And the last one is Hunter x Hunter. Yes, I think a lot of people will be surprised, because I know a lot of people were asking me like, oh, are you reading the manga? You should make reviews, like manga chapter reviews. And I was always thinking, I'm not sure if this manga will ever end, and it takes so long for new chapters. But then I was like, I need to read this. I need to know what's going on in Hunter x Hunter. So I did, and I'm not done yet. I think I'm also halfway through, because I was reading 3 different manga at the same time. I'm halfway through, and I'm not gonna say anything. I kind of want to make a separate video on that, because I know a lot of people want to know my thoughts about it. So I will leave it for that, and then we will see. For games, I am just going to quickly mention them. First one is Dream Daddy, because I had so much fun streaming it in August, and I've been looking into it again and kind of like watching stuff about Dream Daddy that I don't know. It's like, it's very entertaining. It's so funny as well, and I was liking the story a lot. So I am very eager to play it again. So I didn't finish it yet, but I want to play it all the way through finally. Next one is Ladykiller in a Bind, because I haven't recorded yet with Abby for this month, but we had so much fun recording the previous episodes, and I really, really want to play more of it. Although it is a crazy ass story, very sexual. I mean, it's an erotic visual novel. It is something that I thought I would never play, but since I got it gifted by Tetu, I was like, I might as well play it. This looks funny to play with someone else. And it is. Between the brother and the main character, there's a lot of jokes between them, and then there's also a lot of like references when it comes to like Final Fantasy and games and anime and manga, and I think that's really fun. And the last category is music. And you guys know I'm gonna talk about BTS, so I'll just blap it out. So the new album by BTS, what is it? Love Yourself, Her. I'm gonna tell you my honest thoughts. At first, I didn't like it as much because it's totally different from everything else they've done. Because, well, a lot of people think it's because they won the Billboard Awards and for best social artist, and then they kind of want to make their music a bit more American, I guess. It kind of sounds like that because they also have a song that they did with the Chainsmokers on there, and it's yeah, like I said, it's totally different from what they've done before, but you can still hear those elements from previous albums. So I didn't like it the first time I listened to it. I'm not gonna say I hated it. Like I liked a few songs, but I wasn't convinced. And now I've been listening to it more and more, and now I just love the album now. And I think it's always gonna be like this when I listen to BTS. Next up is Linkin Park. I don't know why it says Linkin Park. One More Light. So it's just, you know, the whole thing that happened with their singer. And Linkin Park is one of those bands that I listened to since I was very young. When the first album came out, I was like a super fan of Linkin Park. I've owned all of the albums until now. I don't own the last one yet, but I've always loved their music, although they changed a lot of styles. This album is just special to me, I guess, because the more I listen to it, the more I listen to the lyrics, I was like, damn, you can really feel what the singer was going through. And it just kind of it makes me sad listening to it, but it also gives me like it also kind of makes me happy because I love their music, and I know the singer and the people who are in the band, they love what they do. So as far as I know, I'm not gonna say I know them, like, you know, but yeah, it's always been a big part of me, Linkin Park, and I will always appreciate what they have done. So for me, I've been listening a lot to the One More Lights album, which is the last one. And then Panic at the Disco, Death of a Bachelor. I've been listening to a lot because I don't know why. Every time I'm in Korea, I listen to Panic at the Disco like all the time. Yeah, that album is also one that I didn't listen to a lot when it came out, and I felt like I kind of was missing out. So I made sure I had it again on my playlist, and I could just re-listen to it over and over. And his voice is so amazing. So yeah, that is kind of it for my September favorites. It's quite a lot, I guess. I didn't think this would take so long. I'm sorry. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to share your favorites, you can always do that in the comments, or you can join the Discord. So you can join the Discord, which will be in the description below, the link, and then we can chat about all sorts of things. You can talk about anime, manga, games, even music in a general chat, anything you want. And then there's also my schedules on the Discord as well when it comes to YouTube. And when I do stream on Twitch again, it will be there as well. All my updates are on the Discord first, and after that, it will be on YouTube. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you soon. Bye.